vegana presence. Weather, season and climate. Programmed by John Ferguson Aditi. Learning objectives. After learning this unit, you should be able to 1. Explain the term weather. 2. Identify and use some weather measuring instruments. 3. Explain the term season. 4. Explain the term climate. Weather.
What is weather?
The weather is the atmospheric conditions of a particular place, over a short period of time. It is the specific day-to-day conditions of the atmosphere, at a particular place and time. It describes the state of the atmosphere with regard to meteorological conditions, such as wind, humidity and precipitation. Weather changes are experienced daily. For example, you wake up and look through the window and see if the sun is rising. This behavior can be repeated every morning, which tells you that weather occurs in a cyclical manner. Weather changes are only temporal, though they may last for few days, weeks or months. The weather could become hot and sunny, and in the next few days or weeks changes to become cloudy and rainy. For example, it was raining today at school. It was raining this morning, but in the afternoon it was bright and sunny. These changes of the atmospheric conditions describe the weather. Weather measuring instruments. Weather has direct effect on human activities. It is therefore important to quantify each weather condition, to properly inform people of the conditions of the atmosphere. The following instruments are used for weather conditions, in a meteorological station. Rain gauge. Anemometer. Wet-dry bulb hygrometer. Wind vane. Barometer. Light meter. Thermometer. Sundial or sunshine recorder. Weather balloon. This picture illustrates a rain gauge. Anemometer is used to measure the speed of the wind, which is recorded in knots. In this, the cups catch the wind, turning a dial attached to the instrument. This picture illustrates an anemometer. Wet and dry bulb. Wet and dry bulb is used to measure the humidity, or water vapor, of the atmosphere. This picture illustrates a wet and dry bulb. Barometer. Barometer is used to measure atmospheric pressure in millibars. This picture illustrates a barometer. Wind vane. Wind vane is used to measure the direction of the wind. This picture illustrates a wind vane. Light meter. Light meter is used to measure the intensity of light. This picture illustrates a light meter. Thermometer. The thermometer is used to measure temperature of an area. An example of a thermometer is the maximum and minimum thermometer, or the dry bulb and wet bulb thermometer. This picture illustrates a thermometer. Sundial or sunshine recorder. This records the amount of sunshine, and indicates the direction and intensity of sunshine, for each day. This picture illustrates the sundial, or sunshine recorder. Weather balloon. A weather balloon measures weather conditions, high up in the atmosphere. This picture illustrates the weather balloon. Activity. Materials needed: thermometer, ring gauge, wind vane, and anemometer. Procedure. 1. Measure the temperature in morning, afternoon, evening, for a period of 2 weeks. 2. Measure the rainfall, using the ring gauge, and measure the wind speed at certain time intervals, for a period of 2 weeks. 3. Keep record of the temperature, rainfall and wind speed for the period of 2 weeks. 4. Discuss your findings, and use it to predict the weather. Project. 1. Work in groups. 2. Design and construct a wind vane, and an anemometer. 3. Demonstrate the uses of the wind vane and an anemometer you have constructed. Seasons.
What is a season?
A season refers to the regular changes in weather that repeat themselves regularly every year. It is a subdivision of the year, marked by changes in weather. Differences between weather and season. 1. Weather changes on a daily basis, but season changes within months. 2. Weather can be predicted within 24 hours, but it takes a long time to predict seasons. 3. Weather is considered when planning short-term activities like fishing, drying of food or cloths, traveling, outdoor games and entertainment, but season is considered when planning activities within the year. Seasons in Ghana.
How many seasons do we have in Ghana?
There are two major seasons in Ghana. A. The dry season. And B. The wet season. Wet or rainy season. During this season, it rains a lot, throughout the whole country. It rains for a long time, sometimes for days in the southern sector of Ghana. Wet season starts from April to September. The northern sector experiences the rainy season from June to October. Dry or harmat season. The dry season is also known as the harmat season. The dry season is usually between November and April. It is very serious in the northern sector than in the southern sector. Sometimes the dry season may only be felt during December and January in the southern sector, but it stays for long in the northern sector. Characteristics of dry season. During the dry season, there is more sunshine and no rainfall. The wind is very cool in the morning and evening, but very warm during the afternoon. This makes the temperature during the days very warm, and the nights very cool. During the dry season, water bodies such as lakes and rivers dry up. The leaves of plants fall off, and the air contains a lot of dust. This makes it difficult to see far ahead clearly. The ability to see far ahead clearly is known as visibility. So during the dry season, visibility is very poor. In some areas, cracks appear in the soil and the soil becomes very hard. Characteristics of wet season. The wet or rainy season has a lot of rainfall. During the wet season, there are a lot of clouds in the sky. The clouds sometimes block the sunlight and make the day appear dark. The temperature is usually cool throughout the day. Rivers and lakes get full during the wet season. Plants grow well because they get a lot of water. Effects of wet and dry seasons on human activities. The dry and wet seasons affect the lives of people in Ghana. Let us consider some of the things that happen during the dry and wet seasons in Ghana. Effects of wet season. During the wet season in Ghana, the following things happen. 1. Farmers plant their crops for farming at the beginning of the wet season. 2. Pupils are not able to go to school regularly. 3. Workers are not able to get to the workplaces on time. 4. Some roads are destroyed by the rain and makes it difficult for vehicles to use them. 5. Some parts of Ghana are flooded by heavy rains, causing destruction to sewage system, lives and properties. 6. Destruction of sewage system lead to outbreak of diseases such as cholera, typhoid and dysentery. 7. Strong winds destroy the roofs of buildings. 8. The leaves of plants become green. This picture illustrates farmers planting rice during the rainy season. This picture illustrates some flooded areas in Accra during the rainy season. Effects of dry seasons. During the dry season. 1. Rivers and streams dry up, making it hard for plants and animals to find water. Not enough pipe-borne water is supplied to homes. 2. Water stagnates in open drains and streams. These provide places for mosquito to breed. 3. The water level in the Volta lake goes down. This affects the supply of electricity. 4. Farmers harvest their crops and dry them. 5. Hush fires are easily started because of the dry air. 6. Children can play and people can work. This picture illustrates the low water level in the Volta Dam during the dry season. This picture illustrates bushfires during the dry season. Climate.
What is a climate?